Hello, this is an unboxing video. Welcome. I'm going to be unboxing as you've seen on the title already, the Warhammer 40k Space Marine board game. So, let's get started. So something you should know about me, well, two things, as I cut the tape off here. Oh, that was really bad. I fall into new niche geek hobbies, like, constantly. I'm also really susceptible to FOMO. So, when I found out that Warhammer 40k is getting a 10th edition, and even though I've never played it before, never even really been that interested in it before, and the 10th edition is supposedly like a new edition, that's the time you want to jump on, I'm also at the same time finding out that there are communities there's like a relatively active Warhammer scene, competitively-ish, where I live, unlike some of the other niche hobbies I've gotten into, like fighting games, where there's not as much of that community. I'm gonna start playing. I'm gonna go in it because I can't resist. Because like I'm thinking, oh, this is the time to do it because new edition, and because like there's a game store near me now, and you're gonna be playing it, and this is the time to do it. And that is FOMO. Even though I wasn't ever interested before, I gotta be into it now because now is the time. And if I'm interested in it later, it's not gonna be the right time. But also, on the FOMO side, it's no secret that Warhammer stuff's like really expensive. So when I see a good deal related to that, I gotta jump on it. And I'm not talking about the Leviathan box set, because that's, even though, relatively speaking, how much minis usually cost individually, I guess that is technically a good deal, but it's still $140. This board game is only $40. And obviously it doesn't have as much as the Leviathan box, but the pieces in it, the minis, are real Warhammer 40k minis that are the same ones as the ones in the main game. So even though this is just one of those weird board game adaptations of video game, which rarely turn out particularly good, I mean, from what I've heard, I don't have a lot of them, but they're not, they kind of come and go, a lot of them. Makes this one different is it's not just an adaptation of a video game, it's an adaptation of a Warhammer video game. This is official Warhammer product. The components in this can be used for like real Warhammer 40k stuff for the main tabletop game. So what this includes, we've got 20 Tyranid Termagants and 2 Ripper Swarms, which seems very small to me. I mean, the Ripper Swarms, just look at them, they're smaller than the bigger Tyranids. And then the big draw is that, so those are the Tyranids there. Those are also the same ones in Leviathan or in their own set that you can just buy as their own thing for the tabletop game. But this dude, Lieutenant Titus, this is an exclusive mini to this box set. I think it's probably going to be worth money. So, why I wanted this, even though I'm not that interested in Tyranids or the Marines, is this is only $40. It's Target exclusive, which is weird because as far as I know, I think Target's mainly a US store, and Warhammer is mainly popular, not mainly, but like disproportionately popular in the UK because Games Workshop is a UK company. So I thought this was going to get scalped way harder than it was. I did order this in the mail. As you can see, I opened it from that kind of box, and it arrived today, but ironically, I ended up in an in-person Target today also, just because I happened to be around, and so I could have bought it in person there too, because there was a lot of these still there. And I mean, this did just come out, but it didn't get scalped as hard as I thought it would. So if you're interested in this, like, still seek it out. So anyway, particularly with the Tyranids, I mean, I don't have a frame of reference for Titus here because he doesn't come in anything else, but this comes with 20 of these guys and 2 of those guys. I'm focusing mostly on these guys, but if you were to buy 20 of these guys by just buying them as they are, just as the minis, which is kind of the way you're, again, maybe not expected to. I'm not really one to speak on this. Again, I'm new to this, but one box of 10 of these guys is like roughly $30. So this full board game that has 20 of those guys and 2 of those guys and this guy who may or may not be a valuable collectible fairly soon when scalpers do figure this out. Hopefully they don't, but I'm not encouraging them, and maybe it's been produced enough that scalpers aren't going to touch it. He might be a collectible worth money. So anyway, you can either buy this game for $40, this whole board game, and get all that, and a board game which may be good. I mean, I don't know. It looks kind of bare bones, but it might be an okay game. It would kind of break the trend of weird board game video games, but it might be decent. But anyway, the big thing is for just $10 more, you get all this. Whereas if you paid 30 or so dollars, you would just get 10 Termagants. So this is potentially one of the cheapest ways to build up a Tyranid army. I might build a Tyranid combat patrol starting with this. I don't know. I actually already built and painted and purchased a full 2,000 point army that's not Space Marines or Tyranids. I actually went with Chaos Demons. That's a topic for another video. I'm going to show that off once I finish. I'm almost finished with them, but so there's some that aren't looking quite how I'd like them to, and I also need to finish their bases and magnetizing and that stuff. So when it's fully finished with all of those, I'll show you that, which is my actual main army for this. And but this is, if I decide I like Tyranids, this is a great. This was FOMO got to me because this is the cheapest way I'm probably gonna get them. Anyway, back to the actual unboxing. I was planning on talking about all that as I opened the box, but there was way less in there than I thought there was going to be. There was just this bubble wrap, so it took a lot quicker. So let's open the game itself. We've got Titus on the cover. It's a nice glossy finish, and you can see the back, the rules, and all that. Say up there, and the classic Warhammer 40k repetitive tagline: "The grim darkness of the war's millennium. There is only war." Space Marine board game is a thrilling survival game pitting the noble and stoic Lieutenant Titus of the Ultramarines against swarming and endless hordes of hungry alien monsters, the Tyranids. Take control of either Titus or the ravenous aliens that seek to destroy him and fight against the odds. So even though this is called Space Marine the board game, I feel like it's based more on Space Marine 2, because Space Marine 1 was about orcs, I think. I own it on Steam. I got it on a bundle like forever ago. I haven't played it yet. But Space Marine 2 is the one that they're trying to also like kind of co-advertise with this, because that comes out very soon. And in that one, Tyranids are the main enemy rather than orcs. So it should have been called Space Marine 2, the board game. What were they thinking? So, all right. Easy enough to cut off those two pieces of tape. Let's put it properly now. Okay, so the rule book. It's got that same picture on the front. Let's see if this is in full color, because that would be cool. It is. This is, again, even just like as a board game, $40 is pretty reasonable for this being put well together. It's got a full color rule book, and it's kind of a for a board game, not for the miniatures game, but for a board game, it's, let's see, 40 pages. I know that 40th page there is really just an ad, but like that's a decently lengthy rule book. Oh, a lot of this is just ad. Oh, you know what they're doing with this. Oh, okay. So this whole like back chunk here is just ads. We got about, again, they want you to buy more Tyranids and paint them with their paints, because little insider secret, you don't actually have to use their paints. You can use literally any paints. They won't know. I mean, they will, because they won't be the same colors they produce exactly, but you can totally just use paints from the craft store or even the dollar store. But yeah, they're definitely advertising a lot with this, which is not the least bit surprising. Oh, and even that's cool. Has data sheets. Are these the data sheets for this game or for the tabletop game? No, yeah, these are simpler than the tabletop data sheets. This is definitely just for this game. I was wondering if they had like, well, if Titus at least had unique data sheet for the actual game. But I'm not going to show you every page of the rulebook, because I mean that's almost like, I don't know, you get to screenshot it and use it yourself without buying. I don't want to get flagged for that. But let's see just how it's structured here. We got introduction, how to build the models, which these are supposedly push fit, so that'll be pretty easy anyway. And then I got some lore, I guess, learn about Space Marines and Tyranids, and then learn how to play Warhammer 40,000, or it's not how to play this board game specifically. Is this like just smaller versions of the main 40k rules? That'd be kind of cool. It honestly might be. Yeah, oh, there's a big nasty artwork there. Titus being the Doomslayer, slaughtering all these Tyranids. Got some lore. I'm not going to read all that to you. How to build. This looks this is interesting because having built a few of the models now, the demons, and the newer they are, I guess it's different, but this looks more like an easy-to-follow Lego kit instructions rather than a typical Warhammer mini instructions, which is probably, again, intentional because they're kind of, given how much advertising is in this, it's probably, they wanted to be a entry point, and making this look like something a little more familiar makes a lot of sense. But yeah, this looks super easy to follow. You still have to clip more than from sprues and stuff, but yeah. Again, some nice art in here. It's art that's been used in other things, but like that they're using the real, like, actual glossy and good full color Warhammer 40k art in this little board game is nice. I was honestly expecting this to just be black and white. More lore. Lore. Really cool double page picture. This one I haven't seen elsewhere. I don't know if this one's an exclusive art, but let me know in the comments because, again, I'm new to Warhammer. I'm not an expert by any means. So this picture here is the exact one they use in the main free rulebook, free PDF rulebook for the main Warhammer 40k game. So this is telling me that this very well might be just a slimmed down version of some of the mechanics of the main game. Yeah. Or, I mean, that's just a picture, but just like looking at some of the terminology in here, like rules of engagement and data sheets, objective markers, wound markers, the type that fact that's all 6-sided dice, no other types, battle mat. It seems like it's going to be similar. I'm not going to, this isn't a rules video, so I'm not going to go over all of it. But yeah, moving, charging, fighting, again, more stuff from the main game. Turn structure, all that. Yes, I'm not going to go over the rules here. That's not really what this video is for. I could spend, if I want me to just read start to front with this, one, I'd probably get this video removed by Games Workshop. Two, I mean, then it wouldn't be an unboxing video. It'd be an hour, and I'm actually already 12 minutes in. This is taking a while. Sorry. All right, moving on from the rulebook. What's in here? Got a stack of cardstock battle mats. Okay. Let's crank those puppies open. All right. Is this just one mat, or is it a bunch? Yeah, is one mat folded, or is it a bunch of littler mats? Oh, it's big. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, my camera's too zoomed in, really, to show you this properly, but step back here a little so you can just see this is just one mat, but it's big. It's covering, I can't fit it all in frame. Look, definitely bigger than most simple board games, most simple mass-produced popular Monopolies and whatnot, Clue, all that, even Catan, but it's a little bigger, but like it's still within the realm that'll probably fit on a decently sized table. It's kind of boring though. Like it's just a lot of grates. I mean, every once in a while, a few things in there you'll see like some like carnage. Like there's dead Ripper swarm thing and a barrel over there, and in the middle when it's folded together, there's half of a dead termagant. And I got some other stuff, but like it's mostly just these brass rusty grates. Kind of boring, which is kind of also just the vibe I got from the back of the box. That it just looked kind of dull, but it's not poorly produced. Just you can put some color in there. Man, I know grimdark, but like color, you can still put color in there. There's a very jelly-looking blood draining from that hole over there. Yeah, I don't know if any of these things that aren't just grates play into the gameplay at all, but they're so few and far between that I don't know. Again, I'll have to read the rulebook. But here's the battle mat / game board, whatever you want to call it. You probably could use this part as like part of your terrain in full-scale game, but again, it's kind of boring. I don't know why I'd want to do that. Now we get into like the meat of this box, which is the reason I'm presumably most people probably would buy this, the minis. And if you've never built a Warhammer mini before, I have a plastic one anyway, because they used to be metal. I like the metal ones better, honestly, but you know, that's not where we're at in society of using metal to build things. But this might look confusing to you if you've never built that kind of thing, or any kind of plastic model kit. So these are sprues. not like Legos, unlike as I compared to Legos earlier, and these are push-fit models, so you don't need to use glue or anything, so once you get them separate, it is kind of like Legos, but the difference is you have to actually, like, snip these away with scissors or hobby pliers or bolt cutters or whatever you want to use. Just be safe, you know, like, don't use a power saw, you don't need to. Nice, you can see these are official Games Workshop 2023 products. Keeping them on sprue will probably give that some collectability because it has that, but toys are meant to be played with, and game pieces are meant to be used in a game, so, you know. These look like gray little trees, but all those little details on there, those are all the pieces that snap together, in some cases glue together, but as they said with this game, snap together to make your soldiers, your models, your Space Marines and Tyranids in this case. This one, the first one on top, I'm assuming this is all Titus, and well, obviously it is Titus, because he's the only Space Marine in here, but I think this is all his parts. Like, just looking in here now, the rest look Tyranid-ish, so I guess Titus fits entirely on this one sprue card here. Cool. Let's see what else we got in there. Termagant. Is this, how many Termagants? This looks like 2, 3. More parts. There's more of them. They seem a little bit easier to put together than Titus. Another set of Termagants. Very similar to that one. I mean, it's the same thing, so... More and more... Oh, these two sets of Termagants are stuck together. But yeah, they're each, like, rectangle is the same stuff. And, again, with this one. So, actually, this is the last set of sprues. So, the Ripper Swarms are probably... Ripper Swarms must be somewhere, like, within this. Wait a second. What's this thing? Is this the Ripper Swarms? Oh, no, this is just dice. Huh. I mean, I didn't even know they were going to supply dice. I mean, it said so on the box. I don't know why I'm surprised, but, like, I already got plenty of dice. Also play TTRPGs, so of course I have plenty of dice. And yeah, these are just regular, boring white D6s. There's one more in there. Get out. There. Okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. They're not bad. They're just regular D6s. They're kind of smaller than a lot of D6s are. I mean, I guess Warhammer dice oftentimes skew smaller like this because you need a lot of them. But, yeah, I mean, they're serviceable. They're, again, just dice, but okay. Yeah, so I guess that I was thinking the Termagants are going to be in there, so I'm assuming the Termagants are mixed in. I mean, not the Termagants. The Ripper Swarms are mixed in with the Termagants somehow. Although, there's only 2 of them total in this box, so, like, not going to be on all the sprues, so, I don't know. Can't really make sense of what might be a Ripper Swarm out of these. This one. Oh, there we go. On the ones that weren't connected, they're way up there in the corner. At least part of them. Those. Oh, the autofocus isn't liking this, but yeah, up there in the corner, those smaller larval-ish things are are where the Ripper Swarms are. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now we got our bases. Good to have. Our bases, not much to say about that. Although they do have holes in them, which again means you can just stick them in without having to glue them. So that's kind of nice. We got this size. There's a lot of them that are this size. So I'm assuming this is the Termagant's correct size. Copyright 1999. Oh. They're using some old bases for this. Interesting. I mean, I don't know why that's so interesting to me, but... Huh. Are they all from 1999? It's just that this style of base comes... Yeah, they're all 1999. I don't know. Why is that surprising? I don't know why that's so weird to me, and why I'm even noticing that, but... Yeah, they've been using the same plastic base since 1999, apparently. Here's a smaller one. That's presumably for the Ripper Swarms. Well, actually, there's a lot more of those, so maybe... Oh, okay, so never mind. So there's only 3 of the bigger ones, so I'm guessing one of these is for Titus, 2 of them are for the Ripper Swarms, and these smaller ones, because there's a bunch of them, are for the Termagants. What copyright year are the small ones from? Let's see. 2019. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Again, stupid thing to focus on, but like, I don't know why that caught my attention. Like, whatever. So below that, that's it. Other than, oh, there's something else in there. Let's see. That's okay. We got a big chunk of cardboard here. That's meant there's little punch outs, but they're not even like really very well perforated. So I don't know how I'm gonna get those out cleanly. But these are presumably the objective markers and such. But I mean, it's just cardboard. And then whatever. The actual last thing that's in here is a ruler. Yeah, this is just a ruler. Like they can call it measuring stick or movement tracker or whatever all they want. This is just a ruler, 12-inch ruler. It's not bad. It's a nice floppy, transparent ruler, but it's still a ruler, and it's got the Warhammer logo on it in little chunks. Okay, well this is cool. That's everything. I mean, I could do a follow-up where I actually put together the miniatures, and maybe I will, but it's late, and I don't want to do that right now. I'm gonna go to bed, but, yeah, this is, I'm happy with this for 40 bucks. I mean, I don't think I would spend any more than that on this, but, like, again, considering how expensive Warhammer minis are, if you want to get, I'm just gonna keep flopping this other time. If you want to get a bunch of Termagants, this is probably the best way to do it at this time while this is still being in production at just like Target. And again, I don't know if it's just because my Target didn't get hit yet, but there were so many there when I went there that they were very well stocked, and I don't see this being, based on my anecdotal experience, it seems like this is not something that's getting scalped. So this might just be a legitimately just reasonable way to get a bunch of these stuff, or to get the exclusive Titus model if you're just like a big fan of him, or you just want to be the cool person with a unique captain model, Ultramarine captain model on your lieutenant, not captain, I should say, on your army. If you do play Ultramarines, if you're boring like that, no offense, you can play whatever you want. I'm not trying to gatekeep. How could I gatekeep? I'm again brand new to this. I haven't played a single game yet. I just started buying stuff and reading some lore. Yeah, it's not a bad deal, and this is an unboxing video, not an overall review, so I can't give my thoughts on the game itself yet, but the idea of something that has mechanics similar to the main game of Warhammer 40k, but is made super, this is just a board game like the other board games you've played, is kind of a good gateway into the hobby, I'd presume. And some people, just friends at the table, or like having friends over for game night who don't play like heavier war games, or know anything about Warhammer, it's probably going to be easier to convince them to say, hey, this board game has cool pieces, you want to play it? One thing I haven't mentioned also is it's an asymmetric game, because one person's Titus, the rest are the Tyranids, which I think is cool. I think asymmetric games are interesting, and there should be more of them. So that's another thing. Ooh, I like the back cover on this. Again, that played out slogan on the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. But it's a nice back, and I like it. So Titus is there, but he's all like shadowy and smoky, and there's a skull coming out of him. This is cool. And this has got some more logos down there. All right, that's all for this video. Like I said, at some point I will do a follow-up, possibly with how these minis assemble, if you want to see it. Comment if you want to see it. I mean, it's up to you guys. But I also will definitely at some point, when I finish the basing, which won't be for a while because I'm going on vacation tomorrow, but of my Chaos Demons army that I'm actually quite proud of, that I have a lot more robust than this set. This is, again, a great starting point and a great price for getting all those Termagants, but it is far from a full 2,000 point or even 1,000 point army. So there's a ways to go, even though this is a good deal, relatively speaking. If you do want to make a tiered army, you're still going to have to be forking out quite a bit after purchasing this. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Great night, and have fun with whatever it is you decide to do tonight. Bye, everyone. See ya.